Hi, it's me again, Kelly Liao. This week, I'm going to share with you about the difference between property investment in resi title and commercial title. Now, most of us are more familiar with resi titles. That means we buy a condo. Our purpose is to self-stay. We stay in the condo ourselves for retirement purpose. Some of us think that, hey, now I'm still young. I just buy a resi unit and then I just rent it out. In the meantime, I can collect some rental. In time to come, when I am getting older, I can move into the house myself. If you are thinking about rental, yes, you can rent it to co-living. Long-term rental is allowed. However, Airbnb is not allowed for resi title condo units. This is applicable for most of the condo in Malaysia. So when you buy the property, make sure you check out what type of title it has. Is it resi title or commercial title? The point that I'm trying to tell you is there are many types of condos in the market for you to choose from. Some are the low-end ones, some are the high-end ones. For the low-end ones, the concern is that the tenants that we rent our units to might not be able to pay for the rental on time. Maybe you would like to choose the high-end one. However, high-end one, people are afraid that if one day you want to exit the market, you want to sell it, you're worried that there won't be anybody to take over your property. So that is the main concern of the investors who are entering the high-end market. Is it true that the higher end property will never find someone to take over? It might not be exactly what you think. Take my Desert Brow Semi-D for example. Since last year, after I put up the advertisement on sale, many people offered me 1.8 to buy over my property. However, I rejected the offer because I was thinking that RTS is going to come and then the property price will definitely go up. So I have no urgency to sell it off. I was asking for 1.85 actually. However, after some consideration, I decided to sell. So what is the ultimate reason why I chose to sell the property at 1.8? The reason is because of currency depreciation. 10 years ago, when I bought my first property in Serapatana, the exchange rate was 1:2.4. Then slowly it increased to 1:2.7, 1:3, and the current value is 1:3.5. This is very large depreciation, I would consider. So in order to protect my money from depreciating further, I decided to sell my property so that I can shift the money back to Singapore bank to keep the value of my money. Does that mean I am not going to invest in Malaysia property? No, that is not what I meant. In the future, if I ever buy any property, I will want to buy property that is of commercial title so that I can run the Airbnb business and let the tenant pay the rental for me, so that even if there is depreciation of the ringgit, it will not affect me. I do not want to convert Singapore money into Malaysia ringgit to buy property anymore. So I am very serious to look for properties that are undervalued, 30% to 40%. Let's say 35%, okay, on average. So when the moment I buy the property, it is already a capital gain of 35%. Do you know why the bank requires the buyers to pay for 20 to 30% as down payment? That is because the bank wants the buyer to be financially secure. When the bank lend you the money, he has to make sure that you have the ability to pay the money installment. So the bank wants you to put in 20% of the down payment, then they will be willing to loan you 80% of the money to buy the property. What the bank is looking for is a collateral partnership between you and the bank, so that when there is an economic crisis, you will not run away from the deals because you already put down 20% of the down payment. The down payment you're putting in is like giving the bank a sense of security that you are very serious with the collaboration with them, because your money is down 20% for the deal. So when there's any economic crisis, you will not just say, hey, that's it, I'm going to run away. Because if you run away from the deal, your 20% down payment will be gone. So now you see the reason why the bank is asking for the investors, the buyers of the property, to pay a 20% to 30% down payment. Okay, let me explain further why the amount is 20% at least. It is because based on the past year's data, during economic crisis, world depression, the property price fell on the average average 20%. So by asking the investors, the buyers, to put a 20% down payment is to have a buffer, is to help the bank to have a buffer. In case there's a 20% drop in the property price, the buyers will still be there to pay for the monthly installment. If not, their 20% down payment will be forfeited. So in summary, in future, if I were to buy property in Malaysia again, I would, number one, look for commercial title under HDA so that I can run the Airbnb business for the tenants to help me pay my monthly installment, so that I will not be a victim, so-called victim of the ringgit depreciation. I will not be afraid of any further ringgit depreciation because the tenants will be using their ringgits to pay for my money installment anyway, right? Secondly, I would want to buy property that is of undervalue 35%. Why is that so? Because if I buy property that is undervalued, I will be able to skip the step to pay for the down payment. That means I do not need to convert my Singapore dollar into Malaysian currency and then get myself into trouble again. I don't want my money to depreciate. So these two steps are very important to secure my capital. Next is the location of the property that I'm going to buy. I will buy in KL and not in JB because I want to be an investor. I don't buy the property for self-stay. I have come to the end of my sharing today. Hope you enjoyed my video, and if you do like my video, do subscribe and give me a like. If you're interested to find out how I can turn Singapore 40k capital into a 4 million ringgit investment portfolio and enable you to cash out 400k, do send a message to my WhatsApp number, which I leave in the comment box below.